this might screw things up. I think we're live though. Oh my god. Yo, I think some of you might have to refresh the page. I don't know how this is gonna work. Alright. I don't know how this works, if this is separate. Or, you guys let me know if we're back. Yeah, the blue tin, I had to reset everything. Listen, I don't know anything about, well, I know things about computers, but I'm not like perfect when it comes to computers, but can you have drivers go out? Because the two drivers in the back of the computer, I got 4 in the back of the PC, 2 of them will not register the microphone at all. So I actually had to take them out. I had to hunt down an adapter to plug into the front. Pain in the ass, but it's not reading my back 2 drivers. So I got to go check out the drivers. I guess 2 blew out somehow, or maybe I just need to update them. I don't know, but it's weird how I got 6 drivers, but 2 of them can stop working and the other ones are working fine. I am absolutely incredibly sorry for that beginning. Now, this live stream was late by a half an hour because something was off about the big death in this episode, and I did want to shrink these and have them at least around 45 minutes to an hour long. So let's dive right into this. We are going to be talking about spoilers. If you're new here, we are talking about Fear the Walking Dead. We're here every Sunday to discuss The Walking Dead, Fear the Walking Dead, and anything else The Walking Dead related when the shows aren't airing. So we are going to be talking about everything that happened in a recent episode, including the big death, which is the first thing we're going to discuss a little bit. See, the reason why I didn't jump on stream right away is because the big death struck me as kind of odd. I loved it in a certain way, but then I was wondering, something was nagging me. It seemed like they didn't give us enough, or we should have got more of Nick, and I was like, why now, you know, why? And I had to search up an interview with the showrunners right away. The very first thing they said cinched it for me. If you did not know, Nick wanted out of the show in season 3, and they needed to find a way to write the character out. Now, this is something that I thought Daniel, the actor playing Daniel, he wanted out of the show, so they had him disappear, faked his death. And I did speculate that other actors would be leaving as well because the ratings were dropping. Well, this cinched it right here. Listen, he has a promising career. You know what I mean? More and more, he is getting picked up for roles. He honestly doesn't need Fear the Walking Dead. I think it would be beneficial to his career now because season 4 is like on fire. If Fear the Walking Dead was doing as good as it is now story-wise, I feel like he wouldn't have asked to leave the show because it is solid for his career. But yeah, that's the very first thing they said. He wanted to leave in season 3, and there is the article here. I'm going to shut off my webcam for just a second. There is an article here. Let me make sure you guys can even see that. Move this over here. Click this up. What's going on? And so that way, if you guys want to read the article yourself to find out the full details, and you know I'm not just speaking out my ass, here we go. Nope, that's not the article. Here we go. And we will discuss the new cover in a video coming up. Here we go. Andrew says, it actually goes back to season 3 before Ian and I even came on board. Frank, the actor who plays Nick, had asked the producers and AMC if he could leave the show because he wanted to pursue other opportunities. One of the first things we were tasked with when we came on to run season 4 was to really find a story that would give Nick a fitting send-off. He's been with the show from day 1, so it was very important to us and to Frank to find a death for him that was very emotional and one that would ripple forward throughout the storytelling. Now, I think it's kind of funny because a lot of fans, I mean a lot of fans, came to me back in season 1, at the end of season 1 going into season 2, and they said, I bet you Nick is going to die off because Frank Delaney, is that his name? He seems like he could care less at events and Comic-Cons and stuff like that. Now, there's probably a lot going on, so, I mean, if he was tired or whatever, but I just think that's kind of funny how, you know, he wanted out of the show, and that's the #1 thing that everyone told me when they seen him at Comic-Con. He just seemed like he wanted to be somewhere else. Nick leaves just as they fix the show. Though, yeah, here's the thing. Here's what I struggle with. I absolutely love this episode. Does a lot happen? No, not much at all. But the way it's filmed, what they do, what they show, the character development, the interactions, it's an episode I already know I'm going to rewatch. I never got that feeling in season 2, never got that feeling in season 3. I have no interest to rewatch any of those episodes. But with this episode right here, absolutely. It kicks off with Nick, the junkie. Remember that storyline that they failed absolutely with? The junkie, growing crops, has this responsibility now. See that duality there? The junkie, you know, irresponsible, has this responsibility, and then in the beginning of this episode, he's dealing with the dead crops. I love that subtlety there. When Madison came out to talk to him, I was really afraid they were going to beat it over the head. I was absolutely terrified they were going to be like, oh, I know this is a big responsibility, and I know da-da-da, but they didn't. They let it simmer, and they've done that subtly in the writing with a couple things this episode. The fight causes the crash is the next thing I want to highlight. Now, remember Lori is a meme back in season 2. She's just driving down a road, not a fucking person in sight, no car, no traffic, no nothing, you know. She's not texting, she ain't drinking, and she just crashes, you know, looking at a map. Everyone made fun of that shit, and it became a meme, a real popular meme. It was the fight. They incorporated that to get the story going because you got to get the truck stopped. He has to run into the guy with the Camaro. So I thought that was great. One thing I don't like, they're doing this flashback stuff that I do like, but what they're doing with having the color so washed out of the present day, it's almost black and white, and I fucking hate that. I hate it with a passion when they flash back to the backstory, and I get they're trying to highlight the Bluebonnet Flowers, but you could have done it with that one scene, especially like Schindler's List with the red coat and stuff. But the reason why I hate it is because for me, I don't know if you guys feel the same way, but there's a beauty, there's an absolute beauty in the way post-apocalyptic worlds look. Like, look at The Last of Us. It's got the color, it's rich in color, but it's post-apocalyptic, especially with the vines going through a windowsill. It is fucking gorgeous, absolutely gorgeous. You miss all that when you dilute the color, and it infuriates me. I fucking hate it. I absolutely hate it. I can't stand it. And they do that to highlight the backstory with the flashbacks with the present day. And I get mad because there's no reason for that. Give us the rich color, you know? Wash out the colors for the Bluebonnet scene, but give us the fucking color. Anyway. Okay, the peanut butter protein bar. I love that little moment there. You ever run into something in real life, and I want to highlight this because some people are going to go, oh, well, isn't that convenient? He had a protein. You ever have something that has meaning, and then someone else brings it up? Like, it could be anything, just like this. You and your girlfriend or an ex-girlfriend shared some kind of special pizza place, and then you run into somebody and they like, oh, let's go to this pizza place, and you have that memory of the past. I love this with the protein bar because it's the same thing. Michonne stole his peanut butter protein bar, and then here's Nick, you know, breaking a peanut butter protein bar in half. Just a little thing that I want to throw in there I did like. I thought Nick was a little bit of a dick. I loved what they did with him in this episode, except for the one moment where Morgan, injured, is like, give me my stick, and Nick is like, I'm out, bitch, you know, catch me if you can. Fuck that. Nick, you're a dick. Give him the stick, Nick, you dick. Yeah, whatever, I tried. Anyway, and then Alicia, a little funny moment. I like the humor. It's not forced in here, but we get a little tiny bit with Nick and Morgan fighting over the knife. Great moment, one of the best moments. And then Alicia being like, I don't know how this chick survived. You know what I mean? Another little funny moment. But come on, Alicia. You know how she survived. She got out of your zip ties and then put a knife to Nick's throat. One thing, a small thing, let me know if you guys notice this. I absolutely go nuts over the small details that add to the realism. The bloody smears on the window. When Madison and Nick were in the car driving away, and it's not like a cheap generic bloody handprint. That's something like Z Nation would do, you know what I mean? It's a bunch of just swipes. It's blood and dirt, and there's a good amount, and then there's a bunch of like real subtle, you know what I mean, where it's all blurry and dirty. I absolutely love that. That's a detail I'm going to be looking for more and more, especially when I go back and rewatch old Walking Dead episodes, because that is a detail that's extremely important. You're going to be in areas, you're out on runs, you're going to get walkers, you know, on the window all the time, and you're going to have dirty windows. Again, a small detail that I went nuts over. I loved it. Yelling over the horn is another small detail, how the horn is blaring in the truck, and a lot of shows fall short with these little details that add to the immersion in the scene and add to the realism, how they're still talking loud over the horn that's going off on the truck. One thing I didn't like is, and I just praised them earlier for having the Morgan fight in episode 1 and not cutting to commercial. Nick goes, someone from The Walking Dead must have edited or helped to edit this or helped to direct this, because why would you have Nick and the guy go to fight and cut to commercial? Who the fuck does that? That's frustrating. It's not fun. Knock that shit off. In The Walking Dead and Fear the Walking Dead, stop it. You know, none of us enjoy it. We are going to come back and watch. You don't need to stop in the middle of a fight that's cheap and just trash, to be honest. The flashback storytelling is very intriguing for a number of different reasons. Let me just get them out of the way. A couple of the reasons that I remember offhand is Madison. They're really trying to mislead us and let us believe she's dead. Now, here's the thing. She could possibly die. It's absolutely possible, and I'll explain why. And it connects with the Nick character. Okay, you know what? No, I don't need my TV making all these noise. Shut up. Anyway, so the what was I talking about? Oh yeah, the subtlety in the flashbacks and the intriguing nature of the storytelling. The journalist girl Al has all those tapes, and I think one said the bog, right? There's another intriguing thing we want to know about. Like, I'm interested. I want to know her backstory. I want to know what those tapes are. I want to know more. That helps with this time skip, or the time skip helps to give us these things that we want to know more about. Another one that was done subtly, not too subtle, but I think it was flawlessly done, wonderful little tidbit, is when, what's his name? John, right? Such a generic name, but it fits him. Is that his name? I think I forget. The cowboy guy. He asked Lucy if she left, she didn't love him anymore, and that's why she left, or some shit like that. You know, it's highlighting what was going on between Lucy and Nick, sure, but it's also highlighting a little more, giving us a little more hints at what is going on between John and this girl he's looking for. When John is asking that, we're getting this picture now that she left. He didn't just get separated. It wasn't just, it was a situation where, or at least we can speculate, it was a situation where she straight up left. In this world they live in, they were in love, they had a moment, you know, and then she just bounced. And he's asking because, you know, deep down inside, even though he's looking for her, he wants answers and closure, you know, he's thinking maybe she left because she didn't love him or whatever. A little thing, I really liked it. What else? Nick, what do you want? Oh, Nick, after he killed that dude and he's coming out, and he has that little moment where he's looking around. He's like, what do you want? That was a nice little funny moment. The bloody hands and the book, the moment with Morgan, I like all that a lot. The blue bonnets, and then the Nick laying down. That's one thing. I think Nick's death was absolutely heavy. And one thing I love about it, though, is it didn't feel like a zombie apocalypse death. You know what I mean? It felt like a tragic, like, inner city story. You know what I'm saying? It reminded me of American History X, for example. It's about a racist skinhead family, and the kid goes to prison, the older brother, and he realizes he's a fucking idiot, you know? And he gets out of prison, and his little brother's going down the same path. They have a moment in there. I don't want to go into spoilers because American History X is definitely worth watching if you're into movies. It's about fucked up people and fucked up situations, but it definitely has a cringeable scene in the beginning, and I don't mean that in a negative way. The original word cringe meant like, oh man, that made me cringe a little. Not in a bad way. That was like, oh, that's rough. Anyway, the one thing I might have preferred is if we saw him with Madison in the flashback and he laid down on the flowers and then we ended with him dying in that position. So that way when we rewatch it, it will click for us. That's one of those moments where we on the internet would piece it together, but they pieced it together for us on the show. They had him dying, and then they transitioned over to him on his back in the flowers. And I don't know, for me it was kind of like, it was too much. It was going over. It was like trying to just throw it at us, and I don't know. It was a little thing. I know it's a little nitpick, but for me, I think it works better the other way, and it's more tragic when you go back and rewatch it and everything like that. But yeah, we're gonna have to dive into these questions. I can't wait to see what you guys got to say, because I already know, and I'm gonna agree. I really wish we got more of Nick, more material that was better in seasons 1 and 2. I love this death, but a part of me really feels like the confirmed now Talking Dead and people are blaming Gimple. I don't know what that's all about, but a part of me really just wanted a little more from Nick, but I love this death. Like, absolutely. Let me see here too. Hold on. Let me do we had a couple super chat supports. So we're pretty much done with my first impression review. We're going to go into your fan feedback right now. And remember, guys, you can click on the messages yourself. I know I used to put them on the screen, but you can do it. You go down, you click live chat. I keep getting a bunch of questions about not being able to do it afterwards. If the live chat is over, you can look at the chat, but you can't comment during the live chat. You have to go back into the old chat. I know it's a little mixed up, but if you want to leave a comment, you got to get out of the live comments. I believe that's how it works, and then go into the regular standard comments. So we got Cody196 with a $2 super chat support. I'm pissed that they killed Nick. At least be Maddie. I think he's saying Madison. Thank you very much for the $2 super chat support, and that's one thing I could definitely understand. Part of me is flustered because I absolutely enjoy the charismatic potential that the actor brings. I wasn't really enjoying the storyline for a minute there. He really pissed me off when he just left his family and yada yada yada, but the actor has so much potential, and when you write a good enough story, like look at him in just these few different episodes, so much better I feel than what we've gotten in the past, and it has so much potential. So for me, I kind of feel like, damn, I wish we would have got something different with Nick in seasons 2 and 3, and then this death would have been so insanely amazing because we have that connection earlier. Or if this death could have been pushed off for like episode 4 or 5-ish, or seasons 4 or 5-ish, and then we could have had more amazing storyline to get us reconnected with the character. So it's a rough spot. So I understand if you're frustrated because you had a connection with this character. Absolutely, I did too. He's definitely got a good charisma. Kobayashi Bailey with a $5 super chat support. What's up, Ronnie? Been a fan for years and finally getting to see you live. Keep up the awesome work and the kick-ass content. Thank you very much for that support and that kind comment. Group of Gamers Incorporated with a $10 super chat support. Sucks he asked to leave. Pissed about Travis and this. Better keep everyone else around because I'm struggling to connect with and care about those left. Aftermath of this is crucial, though. Hope it is handled well. Listen, thank you very much for that super chat support. And that's one thing I want to make note of, because we are going to discuss that soon. That is very important. And I mean about the new characters and about future deaths of the original cast, because I think we got more coming up. Future deaths. Let me write that down, because I think this is the beginning of a shift. I think some of the characters we got now that are the new characters are absolutely there to essentially fill up what we got left after this season when certain characters leave. Tyler with a $20 super chat support. Look at the blue bonnets, Charlie. Thank you very much for that super chat support. Funny ass comment. And yeah, look at the flowers from Carol back in season 1. Let me just make sure I got that right. All right, so now we are up to date with the most recent comments. I'm going to pop this out quick. My final thoughts on the episode. There's a lot I like. I definitely want to go back and rewatch it. I am still feeling like, man, I wish we got more from Nick in previous seasons. But the storytelling is something that I am incredibly excited for going forward. And I tell you this right now, as dark as it may be, I hope a part of the storytelling is to send Alicia or Madison into a darker place and kill Charlie. And I know she's just a kid, but something about that seems dark and right. I mean, yeah, she's a kid. Yeah, these are people twisting this kid's head up, but she's the enemy now. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's time for revenge. It's time to go to a really dark place. So I'm on team kill the little kid. That's a horrible thing to say. I'm on team kill Charlie. That has a better ring to it, and it doesn't make me sound like as much of a monster. Anyway, so let me scroll up here because we're going to start attacking some of these questions. So yeah, for me, I'm a bit mixed. It's really important. I love the episode, though. Love the episode. Love what they're doing so far with the season. For me, though, I really need to see what comes out of this to fully support it. It could be like a really cool moment, but then what comes out of after this, it's kind of like, okay, I could see where they really just needed the writer's death because the actor wanted to leave, you know? Had to crack my back, which it does make sense. Like I said, when he first died, it struck me odd because I thought he would be a character and an actor they would have stick around for the long haul. He'd be around for a few seasons. And I just knew in my gut, I knew something was off. And reading that first comment, I was like, oh, you know what? That's what it was. Going back to this article, though, if you want to go and read it, it's on HollywoodReporter.com. I just want to put that out there. How about the rest of the cast and crew? They just ask about how the actor felt about the death and the cast and crew. And have we seen the last of Nick, given how the season will play out? It's safe to say that there's a lot more story to tell with Nick. We understand to a certain degree why he's so driven. Okay, so we will get a little more of Nick in this episode, essentially through flashbacks, you know? So no present-day Nick, but obviously we're going to see him in the flashbacks, which is still cool if you're a fan of Nick. We're still going to get some more. Lizzie and Charlie can both shoot better than me. Laugh out loud. All right, so we're done with the first impression review. We're diving into your comments. Let's kick this off with another super chat support from Sabrina with a $5 super chat support. You forgot my super chat last time. Here's another. Oh my God, I am absolutely sorry. Was it towards the end? I know there's a delay, so if I forget a couple at the very end, I'm really sorry. But it could have been, you know, through the middle of the chat and I just suck at life. That could be it. But thank you very much for donating again. What else we got? The cowboy is a few bullets shy of a loaded gun. You know what? Someone said he could have died at the dam. Yes, he could have. I'll be honest, I like this death a ton better. A fuck ton better than if he was to die at the dam. I'll be honest. There was just more to this. I really liked it. When Nick was in the ground surrounded by walkers, he was laying in a bed of flowers. I didn't notice that. I was too busy looking to see if the zombie was going to try to bite his arm because that did start to trigger me a little bit. A zombie should be focused on biting anything. If your face is there and your arm's there, it should just be trying to bite your arm. You know what I mean? It shouldn't just be like, well, I'm going to bite for your face. So I was looking out for that. I'll have to go back and rewatch that. Move this up. Hold on. I got rid of my whatchamacallit. Q&A. Do you think Madison is dead present day? We only seen her in flashbacks. Maybe that's why Nick wanted revenge so bad. That seems to be what they're hinting at. Is Madison dead? So I'll have to say, because they're hinting at it so strong, I don't think she's dead yet. You know, I do think it's possible she is dead or she could die. And I say that because when you see these new characters coming in, Morgan, we obviously know it's the ratings issue and the mix, you know, connect the stories. Then you got John, you got Naomi, you got Al. These are three new characters that don't seem like they're showing up and dying right away. These are not, you know what I mean? Al is connecting the story because she's Al is a tool for the storytelling because it is lining the stories up and exploring all the stuff that we missed through the time skip. John seems to be the connection with Morgan and linking everyone together, but he's also got more story. They're not going to hint all this backstory to John and then just forget about it and kill him off. That would be horrible writing. Naomi's the one that they could kill her off. She could be a character that lasts for the season and dies in the end in a sad and tragic way. Or these could, all three of them, be new characters that are going to start taking over the, not taking over the cast, but becoming a part of the main cast. And I think that's what we're really seeing here. If Daniel is really dead and gone, we may get a death later on with either Strand or Madison. I really doubt, I really doubt we're going to kill off Alicia anytime soon. I just don't see that. I can't see that happening. Again, unless the actress wants to leave the show. Manus Cathy says, was there a point to this shitty death? So you are not happy with the death at all. Now, there's two things. One, the point will unfold later as the story progresses. You know, there won't be a point right here and now. You know what I mean? It's supposed to be a tool to push the characters forward into the story. As far as behind the scenes, the actor wanted out. He wanted out of the show. Now I'm playing cut and dry. We got a massive $50 super chat support from here's_Negan. Ronnie, believe it or not, people are pissed about Nick's death and blaming Gimple for some reason. I believe it, people are pissed about Nick's death. I am shocked they're blaming Gimple. That is so odd. They also made a petition to kick Gimple off the show. I also wanted more of Nick this season. Gimple is not... And we're not going to get into it. But I hear you. I hear you, though. It's other people. I'm not saying you. But thank you very much. That is a massive super chat support. Thank you absolutely very much. But yeah, it's silly to blame Gimple, especially since we know the actor wanted out. So we could pretty much, we don't have to dive into that too much, you know. What else we got? Hey Ronnie, have you talked about the videos yet in the group called The Bog? What was that about? Yes, I did bring that up, and that's something I'm very curious about. We don't know anything, and that's the kind of point. This is one thing that I really like with the flashbacks. And I know some fans and some viewers are going to be like, I get frustrated with it. All the questions they're setting up, I want to know what it is now, and it gets frustrating, and they get annoyed. I get that, but for me, I know this is something they're setting up, or this is how I view it. This is something that I'm interested in. It's something they're setting up now, and they're gonna show us later. So I'm not all like, oh, what is that? And I get mad. You know what I mean? I'm not saying you are. I'm just saying I know a lot of people don't like that type of storytelling. But for me, I find it really intriguing because that's something I want to know about. I want to know about those other tapes, those other groups, who else she's interviewed and stuff like that. But right now, we have no idea. All right, what else we got? Zeald said, God damn it, why would Frank sign up for a show like this but then ask to leave? I think it had a lot to do with ratings. I think he signed up for something and you're not given the script of the whole season. That's just not how it works. You know, they bring you in, they talk about what the idea and what direction they're going to go. It sounds great. And then they do season 1. Maybe it's not as great as you thought. But season 2, that's when we're really going to bring it. You know, we got a boat. We're doing all this new exciting stuff. You get into it. It starts to drag. The fans aren't, all thrilled about it. He sees it, and he's like, I don't want to be known. I don't want this killing my career. We'll do season 3. That has to be it. We're on a ranch. We're kicking ass. And the fans were even more, not thrilled. And at that point, he's kind of, we don't know if he's even enjoying the story himself. He could straight up hate the story in season 2 and 3. We don't know that, He could have signed on for 1, loving it. 2 and 3, he's like, fuck this. You know what I'm saying? And by the time it came around, that's what it sounds like. For the story-wise, for his career-wise, he just wanted out. You don't sign up to something you know is going to be multiple seasons and then ask AMC if you can leave. He clearly wasn't liking what was going on as far as the storytelling. Listen, I'll be honest. I don't blame him. I mean, if I looked that good and I had a promising career and that much talent, I'm not going to be on a drowning ship. And I feel like seasons 2 and 3 of Fear the Walking Dead, storytelling wise, it was just no good, you know. For the majority, I mean, there's still people that enjoy that type of story, and that's fine. But I'm saying for the majority, it's not what's going to really bring in the numbers. It's just not. And I think they're doing a real good remedy now. Season 4 is on fire. So, wait, just looked it up, and Poppy and Bluebonnet Flowers seem to be related somehow. If so, wow, what a fitting death for Nick, saying he has moved past it. Morgan tried to warn everyone, even the audience. He said it wasn't going to end the way we thought. Yeah, pretty much. I don't like Alicia at all, Muse said. She bores me. I don't hate her, but I don't love her. Yeah, I'm on the border with her. I kind of feel like they cast her because she had that role in The 100, and she's already got like this built-in fan base, essentially. Like, the actress is a brand. We're all a brand. I'm a brand. I'm a cheap brand, but still, I'm a brand. Everyone's a brand that is doing something, you know what I'm saying, as far as like anything around entertainment. And yeah, pretty much anything around entertainment is a brand. She's a brand. She has followers already. She has fans already. People that will watch her because of the 100 in whatever she does. So because of that, I kind of feel like they leaned heavily on that. Plus, very pretty, and obviously Hollywood goes for that. And also the talent they see in her. And all that plays a role, which I don't know if it's the storytelling in previous seasons, but it kind of feels like, for me, they just picked her because of the 100. They knew that brand had, you know, some consumers already waiting and willing to watch whatever she's in. So I have to see. If season 4 turns me around, then sure, it was just the storytelling that kind of rubbed me the wrong way. And I'm a fan of the Alicia character. She's done some things, though, that has turned me around a little bit so far in this season. I don't think Alicia's going to die. I think that would be a bit overkill. Why do they kill off characters at the worst time? Travis, as soon as he develops. Troy, one of the most interesting characters in the show. And now Nick. Yeah, and that's exactly what I was talking about. It feels like they have these great end moments, but what we've gotten leading up to those end moments just weren't enough, where it leaves us wanting more. Like, oh, I wish we got more of Nick. You know, I feel you on that. Same thing with Troy. Troy, they had a really good turnaround with him, and it was an underwhelming death. It was like, oh, she just hits him. She gets mad and hits him. Okay. All right, we did get Cody with a $2 super chat. Scott Gimple has yet another pimple. And Razor Damus, is that how you say it? $5 super chat. The Vulture dude said, want to lend me a hand to Nick, and it threw him over the edge. Maybe took Madison's hand like the comic Rick. I don't know about that. Because... Wait, didn't he say you don't know what he took from me, or you don't know what he did to me? I kind of feel like the way he worded something, I think he would have worded it differently if he cut off her hand. Besides, again, that's something that if they do that, I'll be surprised, because it's just wasted. It's wasted budget. That's the word I'm looking for. Holy shit, Ronnie, you love talking about the budget, but now you can't remember the word. Yeah, cutting off Madison's hand is absolutely wasted budget. It doesn't do anything for the story. It doesn't do anything for the character. There would be no real reason to do that, so I'd be surprised if they did do that. Thank you very much for the Super Chat support. I think they made it to where the Vultures getting all the shit around the area, if they're on their game, and now, listen, this is something we skipped. And this is a slimy tactic, and I was kind of hoping Nick just killed him the first time. I mean, get it over with already, you know what I mean? This is the apocalypse. Fuck out of here. Cut his throat. Who's going to call the cops, you know? If the girl's a problem, kill her too. Fuck it. Sorry, this is a cruel world we live in. Times are tough. Here's the thing. What was I talking about? Oh, yeah, the Vultures. They're waiting outside to pick the bones, you know, to pick the meat off the bones. but they're going around to the area right in the perimeter around their location, picking it clean. So when they go out to loot, they don't find anything. That's pretty clever. That's fucked up in a way where they're not the wolves attacking you, but they need to die. That's fucked up. You know, that's some messed up shit. Dylan says, what do you think of Lucy and Strand making it this far? They get rid of Chris, Travis, Daniel, now Nick, but keep these two boring characters. Here's the thing. They're boring because they don't get a lot of shine. Strand got a lot of shine in season 2, and then he just fell by the wayside as, you know, Madison's buddy. If the actors themselves, in my opinion, they have the charisma they need. You know what I'm saying? Absolutely. They need to be given the story. Now that they trimmed season 1 character, we might get more story with them. That was a burp or a hiccup. I don't know, but it's trying to kill me. Every fucking stream, one of them, either burp or hiccup, tries to take me out. Anyway, they might get enough so they're not boring characters. You know what I mean? Gavin's Ghost, the cohabitation of vultures letting them out makes no sense at all. Tie that up and let's move on with the now. I stick with what I said. I love that idea. Listen, these are people where they're not killing you, so, you know, you shouldn't really attack them or kill them. I come from a different place. We have all come from it. We watched the Walking Dead original show. We know if someone is a dick, chances are you should kill them. You know what I mean? Haven't we learned by now? So, and it's a good thing. They're letting them out. They're not there. They're not the saviors. They're not the wolves. That's not what they do. They stick outside. You know, they wait. They frustrate you, annoy you. They get you, in their eyes, they probably want them to just get the fuck out of there or give them their shit. While they're there, they're going around to the perimeter, picking it clean, so when they go out, they have a harder time finding stuff. I think it's a clever little thing. I'm liking it so far. We'll see how it plays out. Howling Wolf said, Ronnie, I wouldn't be surprised if Charlie's death was a cop-out by having her being devoured by walkers. What do you think it would be, though? Well, obviously, it's not going to be nothing grim, you know what I mean, as far as like a human person killing her, but I couldn't imagine. I mean, it's either stabbed or shot or fed to walkers. I personally would enjoy that. If it's a situation where it's either a gate like Morgan and Jared, and she has a chance to open the gate and get the girl in and close the gate and the walkers are coming, or she literally is holding her like the good son over an edge and walkers are trying to pull at her feet and she's like pulling her up, and then she just has this moment where she's like, you don't deserve this, you don't, see you, bitch. You know, something like that. Anything like that would be like, oh man, Alicia, she went down a dark path, let's see where this goes. Roman said, Ronnie, do you hope Madison is dead? It matters on what it does to the story. No, if it's not going to do much for the story, no. You know, because we can use that death later on to do some big impact. But if they do have a big plan for her death for the story, then sure, I'll accept it. Allison said, what do you predict happened to Strand's hand? You know what? To be honest, I assumed we saw that already. I'll be honest. I thought it was with his fight with Daniel something happened. I'll be honest. Or the bridge. I just assumed it was from that. But I don't know. Didn't we see something like that already? Wasn't it at the previous place? I don't know. I'm gonna have to look at that again. Dude Guys with a $5 super chat support. Hey Ronnie, I never liked Nick that much, to be honest. He kept causing his family grief and screwing people over to get drugs. Also at 99 subs. Good shit, bro. And yeah. He did have some shitty storytelling, which is especially in season 3, which coincidentally that was the season that really pushed me away from liking that character. And coincidentally, that was the same season where he asked to leave. Listen, I think that seals the deal. You know what I mean? That validifies it. In my opinion, it does. Unless he comes out and says it different. I think he hated the storyline he was given in season 3, and that's why he asked to leave. They need to do a zombie show in the ruins of Detroit. It has the most amazing locales to film at for sure. Respawn says Madison is the main character. She could be. We'll find out soon, though. Wait, they don't know if she shot him? Well, that's the thing. Alicia knows who Charlie is. When she first ran out, she saw a little glimpse. So we don't know if she saw her, but she kind of said like, hey, as if she didn't quite see. Because I feel like she would have been like, Charlie, like, you know. I thought maybe Charlie wrote Nick a note on the book when Mel tossed it back to Nick. Oh, I didn't even think of that. Yeah. Did they see who killed Nick? I don't know. I was assuming she would put 2 and 2 together, but maybe not. I think once Morgan tells her what Nick did, who Nick killed, maybe she'll try to piece it together. Are you looking forward to the rest of the season more so now that Nick is dead? I'm actually excited to see where it goes. Love to death. Here's the thing with Nick and even Travis to an extent. I wanted more from their characters before they died. Like, I'm all for good life, good death. Like Glenn. He had a great story, great life, and great death. Nick did to a degree. In my opinion, it was a great death. I just didn't get that great life. I got a little bit. There was little moments that I really enjoyed. So with that being said, yes, I am absolutely excited. Part of me is a little less excited because they admitted it wasn't like a risky storytelling, thing. It was the actor just wanted to leave. So it's not like I'm so excited because they're willing to take these big risks in, big moments in storytelling. The actor just wanted to leave. So they had to, So, what else we got? If Daniel dies in the show, I'm going to die. That would be dope. AMC, make that happen. I like Madison a lot, says Rena. I fucked up your name. I love how he killed the vulture. Yeah, I like that. I like how, he fell on him. The guy fell on the antlers, and then Nick just pushed him down. For a minute there, I thought they were going to cop out, and Nick would be like, oh, I killed him, but not really. I didn't like, stab him. Jay Morris, the review guy. I'm not sure if you covered this, but Charlie's little girl and shot a male in the head that was looking at the flowers. I'm not sure if you covered this, but Charlie's a little girl and shot a male in the head that was looking at the flowers. I don't know what you mean, a male in the head. He was shot in the chest. But I get what you mean. Little girl, fucked up, shot someone looking at the flowers. It makes you wonder if they did that on purpose, to touch back to The Walking Dead. Uba John says, I don't believe that for one bit. Remember when they said Carl wanted to go to college? Nothing but BS. No, this is legit. These are the showrunners saying that they're not going to lie about that. That's legit. Carl wanting to go to college, that's not true. What you're talking about is just not true. He wanted to go to college. Yeah, sure. He was doing college, but he took a year break to film The Walking Dead. He did not know he was going to get fired and yada, yada. Yeah, what you're talking about is partially true, but more rumor, It had nothing to do with his college. Carl dying on The Walking Dead had nothing at all to do with his college. At all. Allison, and that's confirmed, from sources, 100%. Allison Lewandowski, I got that. We might have already seen what happened to his hand, but I couldn't recall something that memorable. I don't know either. Someone in the chat, if we've seen what happened to his hand, let us know. Javin Grant, did I say that right? Do you think Nick was a dick the whole time? A lot of the time, yes. It was a good shocking episode. Wait, Strand is not owned by the Vultures. Why are people saying that? I don't think Strand had any interactions with the Vultures except for standing there. I don't know what they're saying. Ronnie, lots of snow here in Detroit too. Oh, yikes. Let me see. So Carl dies and everyone is pissed, but Nick dies and it's an awesome episode. I'm hearing a lot of people are mad too about that. If you mean me specifically? No, you said everyone. I have different reasons for those different characters, by the way. Nick Jones says, guys, notice at the WonderCon interview, all the main cast were there except the actors who played Nick, Madison, so maybe Madison's dead too. I wouldn't read too much into that. Is Daniel still alive? Asked Rose. I don't know. Spin 2020 with a $5 super chat support. Thank you very much, Spin. Do you think that they are misleading fans to think Madison is dead? Yes, absolutely. When actually Nick only thought she was dead. Bye, Nick. Not gonna miss you. Ooh, burn. Here's the thing with the Madison and Nick. I think they did a fantastic job misleading us. And to be honest, I don't know about you guys, but when Nick was doing the flowers in Madison, how many, let's be honest, right? How many thought, are they trying to hint that they're killing Madison? And then bang. I thought someone shot a bird and they were going to eat, like a Daryl moment. He shot a bird and they were going to cook a bird or raccoon or squirrel, and it just snapped him out of his daydream. And then when he grabbed and there was blood, I'm like, nah, they don't have the balls to do that. You know what I mean? And then when they showed the hole dead center in his chest, I'm like, whoa, hold the fuck on. You know, what? But I really think they wanted us to believe it was Madison, and in turn, it was Nick, you know, right then and there. I don't know if they're still trying to mislead us after this episode. James Taylor, Q&A. This is more set up to make this group the Whispers. Nick is gone, and this will drive them closer to insanity, compounded with everything else they endured. I strongly disagree. We would need a lot more than Nick's death to turn them into the Whispers. The Whispers are touched. They're not right in the head, you know? Raphael said we should just be talking about how awesome John Dory is. If you can't compare Nick to Carl at all. Yeah, that's something I would agree with. It's two different things, definitely. You can't just say this character died, and, you know, fans should love both of them. If they love one, they got to love the other. That just, to me, it doesn't fit. I feel like Fear doesn't have an exact Rick-type character. It's about the group surviving together. See, and that's the big problem is, or not even the problem. That's the thing. We woke up with Rick. You know what I'm saying? We woke up with Rick and followed Rick from the hospital. I mean, we started the episode with him and Shane in a car, buddies. Oh, I'm sorry. No, we started the episode with Rick on the highway as a cop. Shoots a zombie baby. And then we're in the car with Rick as a cop, talking to his partner. So we're started with Rick in the apocalypse, and then he gets into a coma, and we literally follow just Rick all the way out of the coma. We don't flash back and forth between multiple different characters. With Fear the Walking Dead, we are flashing back around with this whole family. So there's no, like, there's not even that little bit of structure that says, nope, this person is the lead. A lot of people say Madison. I personally... Previously, I thought they were going to go with the two kids being the leads eventually, the main leads. Now I think Alicia has a solid chance of taking over as the lead. But with the new additions, I think they're making it a group thing in the end, you know? Let's see. Yeah, if I was Frank and saw the story and fan reaction and critics, I would leave too, said Brian. Ron Baker. I think it's more of a perspective with Charlie. Wait, hold on. Wait, where did that go? Oh, come on. Where did that go? Where do we go? Oh, Ron Baker. There we go. It's more of a perspective thing with Charlie. We want her dead or something for what she did to Nick. But in her eyes, Nick was the bad guy, like a Rick and Negan. Oh, yeah. It's absolutely. That's with almost every situation. I still would be happier for the story, fuck perspective, if she died, because it you know, touches the characters on our end in a different way, going down that dark road, you know. Q&A from Harrison Hall. Hey Ronnie, have you ever looked back on your channel to see how far you've come? I support your channel so much. Love towards you. Oh yeah. I don't get the time too much, but I have in the past, you know. Checked out an old video or two and been like, oh yeah, what a dumbass. Giovanni says, who has the most memorable and satiating death? Is that what you wrote? The most memorable? I don't know. There's a lot of memorable ones. I mean, Glenn's up there, absolutely. Or do you mean on Fear the Walking Dead? This is probably my favorite death on Fear the Walking Dead, hands down. Monty says, could the proctors, I was gonna say protectors, have gotten a hold of Daniel, and now we have an opening for them to go with them if they lost Madison as a leader. I don't know. I mean, the Proctors feel like an ended story in season 3. It felt like a story that wasn't fleshed out too well, and that was it. Like, I personally don't care if we ever see them again. Neo Man, do you think they will try to trick us at some point with the timelines? Yeah, I mean, well, no, you know what? I take that back. They're clearly doing a color difference with the timelines. Excuse me. So, I don't think they would try to trick us. I don't think it would fit, you know, because the flashbacks are so colorful. There's nothing to talk about with the Bog tape, so I brought it up. I'm definitely interested. We don't know if it's a group or a place or an event. We don't know. But we're definitely, you know, a lot of us seem to be curious, interested in what story is going to come out of that. I can't wait. It's obviously something important to her. It's an amazing story that she has on tape, and maybe even has a personal connection. Allison, do you predict that the flashbacks will be caught up by the midseason, or that it will be this way all this season? At this point, I'm thinking they only need the first half to catch us up completely, and the second half will take the story into a different direction. That's something they usually do on The Walking Dead. So at this point, that's what I'm thinking. The Bog tapes weren't discussed yet. Yeah, you mean on the show or in the channel? I'm getting confused. There's nothing really to discuss. We brought it up. We're definitely curious, but no one knows anything about it, you know? According to the showrunners, the intro for each episode will tell a complete story by the end of the season. That's an interesting little tidbit. I'm going to have to start paying attention then. Dude, guys, with a $2 super chat. Morgan doesn't die. He just sees it. Absolutely. I cannot pronounce that name. Is that specious? Don't you think the death of Nick symbolizes the fact that the I don't kill philosophy doesn't match in this world? I think Morgan struggles with that a lot, no matter what, you know, with Nick's death or not. But here's the thing. Think about this. Nick died directly because he killed the guy. You know what I'm saying? If Nick took Morgan's advice, Nick would have still been alive. How about that? You know, so in a way, you said it doesn't match this world. I mean, holy shit, that matches absolutely. If Nick just walked away with Morgan, Nick would still be alive. He'd be alive, and oh my God, he can, you know, be with Lucy. I mean, holy shit. I would walk away from pretty much any beef if that was my prize, if that was the case. So yeah, he should have took Morgan's advice. Negan, the fucking awesome psychopath. Will we find out why Nick wanted revenge? Oh, absolutely. Lori, he still was the one of the best actors on the show. Frank Delaney, I'll miss him. Wait. Jay Morris, the review guy. If Madison's still alive and Alicia's the only other season 1 character besides Strand, that work make Strand the... Wait, strategist? The weird to think, laugh out loud? I don't know what the fuck you just said. Forgive me. Where did you think Madison, Naomi, and Cole are currently? I have no idea. If they're not with, you know, the bad guys, they don't seem like they're lost because Nick and them are not looking for them. They're out hunting the bad guys. So, and Nick didn't say, where's my mother with the bad guys? So yeah, that's really suspect. I don't know. They could know where Madison's at. Madison could be at a new place, which is likely the outcome. And they're just on a mission to find them out of revenge. And Madison's like, just leave it alone. I don't know. Where do you think Madison, Naomi, and Cole are? For right now, that's my prediction. This was a solid episode. I'm disappointed with them killing Nick. But Ronnie's the best YouTuber for The Walking Dead. Oh, thank you very much. I appreciate the support. We're going to scroll down to get caught up with the comments, though, because we are getting a little behind. So that way you guys are caught up in the feed. So if you did put a question, we're likely skipping it. If it was a really good one and you want to put it back down, go ahead and put it now. We're going to be wrapping up soon, too. Low key, no pressure with a $5 super chat. This hate for Gimple gets more confusing every day, to be honest. Anyway, I love how Nick's death was filmed. By the way, Alicia is a great actress. Ronald, lick my ass. Don't ever call me Ronald again, you motherfucker. Alicia's a great actress. Yeah, she has really fantastic moments. You know what I mean? She's got other moments I think I criticized in seasons 2 and 3. She does the "I'm pretty so I can't make an ugly face." A lot of pretty people do this, guys and girls. It's one of the most annoying things because in real life, even pretty people, they make some ugly faces because real life, it's real. It's raw emotions. And we've discussed this before. She had a really good moment, especially in this episode. And she has had some other really solid moments. I think that was my only criticism in the past. So as far as being a great actress, we will see, my friend. We will see. All right. Let me just, we're catching up down to the bottom, but before we catch up on the chat feed, let's just make sure we caught up on the super chats. We got the Cody, yeah, we got that. Okay, we did get that, and we got that. All right, we're good. We're caught up on the super chats. Good to go. Yeah, dude, guys, you said something about your super chat keeps getting missed. We covered that. You said Morgan doesn't die. He just sees it. Unless, unless the delay in the chat, maybe. That's what it was. Hey, Ronnie, have you ever looked back on your channel to see how far you've come? I support your channel. All right, you know what? Thank you very much, Harrison Hall. I somehow got the comments mixed up. I guess I scrolled back up somehow. Are we down at the bottom? Yeah, we're down here. Okay, so let's find some more. Oh my, that's a funny comment. Low key, no pressure. That was actually funny. What if Athea is just protecting the final adult films left? Yeah, a couple of you guys are saying Madison is the main character for sure. I think Spin, is that what you're talking about? The producers said she was. Yeah, if there's an interview of that, I'll look it up. It'd be good. It'd be a good read. It would be also good to know too, because I kind of feel like it's a group thing. But if they coming out and specifically say no, she is the main bitch, well then there we go. She's not gonna die. I mean, it kind of spoils that. So them misleading us to think she's gonna die, it might relate more to this episode alone. You know what I mean? Like they want us to think that because they just killed Nick. And I think if that's the case, they did it fantastic. Because in that moment, I was wondering, are they going to mislead us or actually kill Madison? And then boom, the gunshot. Desmond, is Morgan to blame for Nick dying? He left him alone. Absolutely not. You're a grown-ass man. You're making your own decisions. Morgan said, don't do it. Nick said, fuck you, I'm going to do it. And he did it. And he died because of it. That was his own decision, you know? I'm sure Morgan has some guilt, though. Maybe I didn't do enough, yada, yada, yada. Chris PC Gaming, is it bad I gave no shits for Carl's death but teared up over Nick's? No, I think it was presented, to be honest, more emotional, which is weird because Carl is a character we've been with for 8 seasons. Definitely getting bit off screen and just being like all sweaty and pop. Emotionally, it does almost nothing, you know? Afterward, with his banter with Michonne and his father, yeah, that can trigger the emotions, you know? With Nick, though, it's all right there. It's built in one little episode. You could watch this one episode, well, maybe this episode, the last episode, and get like, these two episodes alone, and get like a mini story. Dude, guys, oh, here we go. You gave me a $5 super chat and said, Spin's being a jerk to you. Yeah, I just scrolled up to read the chats. You know, all she said was, oh, unless I am not seeing the important comment, All she said was, yo, they confirmed it in an article. I mean, if they confirmed it in an article, that's something I'd want someone to tell me. Like, yo, here, go read it, boom. That's just dialogue. It's just communication. You just want to write your own opinion. If they said it's true and you still feel like it's the group, share your opinion. Go for it. No one's stopping you. I just shared mine. When I'm watching the show, I don't get the vibe it's Madison alone as the main character. I get the vibe it's the whole group. You know, I still get the vibe it's the whole group. Madison wasn't even in this episode except for the flashbacks a little bit. But if they are molding the rest of the series and the rest of the episodes to form this, yes, she's definitely the main character, then that's just, it's just conversation back and forth. All right, let me make sure I didn't miss any other super chats. And let's scroll down. All right, looking for Q&As for the last couple questions. If you have something you really want to know about, put Q&A in the chat and slap a question down. I'm going to pick some out of that. Hey, Ronnie, did you ever hear about Overkill's The Walking Dead game? Yep, I did a couple videos on it. There was another video about it, and it gave me chills. Yeah, I did a couple videos talking about that. Go Mets says, I think the reason I don't like the actor's decision to leave is because he had such a large role in the show. I feel like when you play a large role like Nick did, you should ride it out. Yeah, I've said that a lot in the past. Absolutely. Especially with the main show, I've talked about characters, especially coming on knowing you're a comic book character and you might be on for a few seasons. You might be on for a lot of seasons. There's no excuse to be like, okay, I'm out when it's doing great. I have said, if you feel like it is just the bottom's falling out on you, or you're not getting paid, or this and this and this, and there's other problems behind the scenes, yeah, I don't think anyone should keep themselves locked in something that's not working. If he strongly didn't feel that the storytelling was as good as it should have been, or whatever the case may be, if that is how he felt, it's hard to fault him in that case. If it was doing amazing, he's just like, yep, it was amazing. I'm popular as shit now. I'm on to bigger and better things. Yeah, I wouldn't like that. I would have a problem with that, All right, Q&A. Will we see Nick for a while through flashbacks? It sounds like it. So even though he wanted off, he'll still be in other episodes due to him being at the stadium, unless he just disappears in the past. No, it sounds like he's going to be in the show a little bit more, which is funny if he wanted to get killed off, but he's still on the show in flashbacks. But because it's in flashbacks only, he's only going to be filming a little bit. It sounds like he might only come back and film for another episode or two at the most. But that's pretty much it from the sound of it. Why does there have to be a main character? It doesn't. It's just part of the conversation. Unless somebody said there has to be a main character. I mean, it doesn't. Things are different, though. You know what I mean? Like each show is different, each movie is different, each story is different. It all really depends on what you're specifically talking about. A lot of shows don't work though without a main character. You can have a main and there's a bunch surrounding it that are very extremely important. I feel like The Leftovers is on HBO very important because you have your main, but the other characters are extremely important as well. Almost as important as the main, but you are still grounded with that main, and I think that's the most important aspect. The main character isn't the most important. It isn't the one that always gets the most storyline. It grounds the storytelling in a way. Like Walter White, obviously being the main character of Breaking Bad, it's important because of what story they're telling and how it grounds the structure of the story. Rebecca says the show is finished, in my opinion. I don't feel that way yet. I think the show is probably doing better than it has ever, Again, we got to see how it plays out. Simon says, I feel Madison is alive. She has to be. I mean, Nick's death is going to mess up Alicia, but if Madison finds out, she will lose her shit. Yeah, that's going to be interesting to see what happens after that. Clinton says, the show jumped a shark tonight. I would like to know what makes you feel that way. In your opinion. Negan, a fucking awesome psychopath. I was surprised by the Vultures, or at least one of them are still alive. I thought the present timeline was after season 4 finale, after the Vultures storyline. I honestly, I didn't. Well, I thought some of the Vultures would have been dead, but clearly not all, because they're looking for them. Remember, they're looking for the signs, and the Vultures are the one with the signs. So I did think maybe that dude that Nick had beef with was already dead. Maybe the leader or someone else or half their group, and there was like some kind of battle. But him being alive was a little bit of a surprise. But we know they're out there because they're looking for them. That's the whole point of the signs. Maybe Madison went with the Vultures to get them and others to leave out of the Vice. I don't think that's how it will play out. I mean, come on. If Madison goes with them, what are you thinking? The only thing she's going to be is sexual favors. That's pretty. What else is she going to do? Becoming a part of them was an offer for all of them. Leave and become with us. But listen to how that sounds. Madison's just going to give herself up. Ooh, for what, though? Unless she's going to whore around. What else is there to do, She's just going to become one of them. They're still going to not attack, but they're still going to do their thing because that's how they survive. Like I said, right now I'm sticking with Madison is somewhere. They know where she's at, but those others are out for revenge. We need to see more. Brian wants me out of my mom's basement. I tried. She locked the door and stopped watching television. I stopped watching television. What the fuck you talking about, bro? I stopped watching television. I turn on video games. Fortnite currently. Fucker. Howling Wolf. Ronnie, shouldn't the Art of Peace have been stained with blood because Nick's hands were covered? Yet when he pulled it out of his back pocket, it looked fresh off the shelf. I didn't catch that, but yeah. And not stained, not covered, not whatever. I've gotten blood, believe it or not, on a book. And it leaves a tint, but it's not like caked on there. But yeah, it should have a tint. It's like a dark and red, black tint. Never mind. Madison won't become alpha because she's dead. Maybe not. T. Gilly, what if Madison joined the Vultures to protect Nick and Alicia, and that's why Nick was pissed, and they tried to mislead us into thinking they killed her? Here, my question still stands though. If she did, why wasn't that ever in conversation? I kind of feel like that would have came up. You know what I mean? In a way. And another clue is the one Vulture, dead Vulture. We'll call him Rack. He thought Nick was dead. Why? What happened? To make him. Did they just go out on the road and he just assumed Nick died? I don't know. There's a lot of little hints, but. Why did Nick want to kill this dude? Because overtakes the stadium? We don't know. Definitely something happened, but Nick wanted to kill him. I'm assuming it has to do with the stadium, yeah. Negan, a fucking psychopath. If they kill off Alicia and Strand this season, I am done. Laugh out loud. People are arguing about who's the main cast. You guys still arguing about that? Nick should have been tied up still. Morgan cut him loose to begin with. Morgan will feel the blame. It's what he does. Yeah, in that way. I see what you mean. I still feel like, yeah, you could say it that way. I could see him feeling guilty. Okay, serious question. What if Bog is the group putting the numbers up, or is that? No, that's the Vultures. That's been clarified. Episode 2 they showed that. Do you think there's a chance Madison joined the Vultures? Well, a lot of people seem to like that. I don't think so. I don't see how. I mean, it's possible. Yes, there's a chance. I'm just having a hard time seeing how that story would connect and it not come up in their conversation or their arguments. Like you figure that Rack would have said, "Hey, your mom misses you, or your mom thought you were dead, or whatever." Carl's character is weaker on the TV show than in the comics, says Clinton. Morgan is just very bipolar and off his meds. He clearly needs. Oh, look at that. Spin accepts your opinion that it's an ensemble cast. glad we got that over with. Riveting stuff, guys, but glad it's done. Nick dying is worse than Carl since he was actually likable in my opinion. Ouch, the burns. The burns. Did we get all the well, this is Dude Guys has a $5 super chat. He says, not trying to argue more, but I think that just because the writers say something, that doesn't mean it's true. Robert Kirkman trolls, for example. This is something that let's discuss for a second, because I don't agree with that. Everything the writers and producers say, they're not going to tell us what happens, right? So they got to be slick with what they word. Absolutely. But when they come out and say certain things, like the actor wanted off the show, they're not lying. There's no reason to lie for that. You know what I'm saying? And if they were lying, they'll get discovered later on, and it'll be a big thing. There's no reason to lie for that. If the showrunners consider Madison, and again, I didn't read the article, and I will. We'll see exactly what it says, and maybe we'll open it up for discussion. But if the showrunners think Madison is the main character, that's it. They're not going to lie about that. There's no reason to. Imagine if they said Madison is the main character and then killed her off. They would look like absolute buffoons. So either it is them saying something like when they were first coming on, they viewed her when they watched the old seasons, and that's how it's misinterpreted, or they really feel that way, and that's just how it is. Can they kill her off later? Sure, they could still kill her off if they feel like she's the main, if they feel like that's going to drive the story in a new direction. But I feel like they wouldn't do that right away, especially not now. There's a lot of story to come from Nick's death. But I do disagree with that. Yes, Robert Kirkman trolls. Yes, Scott Gimple trolls. But there's some things they just will not lie about. They will try to keep it spoiler free, and be deceptive as much as possible without being dicks. Yeah. Like in Game of Thrones, when a character died but he was coming back, they're going to lie. We know that, but they wouldn't lie about, does Jon want to bang his sister? No. You know what I mean? We can't say he's lying. So that's where I will agree and then still respectfully disagree at the same time, because that's not always true. Just because they troll doesn't mean everything they say is a lie. That would make it way too crazy, because we still got to rely on what they say. What else we got here? We're about to wrap it up, but let me find a couple. Yeah, we were. Does Morgan, Al, and John feel like a little spiritual sequel to Abraham, Rosita, and Eugene? Yeah, you could say that. It's kind of got that little trio vibe going on. Why don't they attack the vultures? They even have grenades. This is one thing that I get it, because they don't know how much. They don't know how well armed the vultures are, but in the same strength, I get annoyed because I'm like, just fight them already. I mean, these sons of bitches are literally helping to, in a shitty way, for you to fail. Just kill them. In this world, no one's got time for that bullshit. Negan says revenge mission going after Charlie confirmed ? She's the big bad as far as I'm concerned. Sure, I'm up for that. What are we? Ronnie, you did a video on showrunners comparing Madison to Rick. However, I do think... Wait, hold on. Ronnie, you did a video on showrunners comparing Madison to Rick. However, I do think they could change with the overall haul of the show. I don't remember that video at all, to be honest. Was that from season 1? I want Rick Grimes' name drop from Morgan. I don't know how, but I want it to happen. Would you want to see a Fear the Walking Dead comic based on the show? Absolutely not. Things do well going from comic and book to a show, but going from a show to a book is fine. But going from a show to a comic, for me, it loses something, Sizzle, would you want to see it? Okay, we already did that one. I just literally did that one. No, Game of Thrones isn't back yet. It's not going to be back till 2019, I don't think. Jay Morris, the review guy, if you wanted to be killed off, would you have rather the runners kill him off in the day? No, for me that doesn't do anything. It's not emotional, it does nothing at all. So I'm glad they did it now, to be honest. Taylor Ryder said, I'd like Morgan to drop some names too. Daryl, Rick, Michonne. I'm up for that. I like having a little story, maybe. He could talk about finding somebody. Almost died again. Now, keep in mind, even though we saw it, they're probably never going to do this. But having Morgan talk about finding this guy, you know, helping him, getting separated, finding him again, and they found a community, they established a community, they had a war. Even just doing a quick breakdown of that and saying, you know, he was my friend, probably one of the closest friends I got in this, what you can consider a friend in this world now. And dropping a hint to something after All Out War. Like after the big fight, we really started building, but I was too broken. We had some really fantastic things going on. Setting up even a mill, like say they were constructing a windmill or some shit like that. I would love a little drop like that, a little Easter egg, little nugget. Okay, Westworld time. Love it. All right, guys. Yeah, go watch Westworld. I'm not caught up yet. I still got to go watch Westworld. I'm going to try to watch Infinity War. Is that what it's called? On Tuesday. And maybe if I do, I'm going to do a video on it for you guys. I know tomorrow I'm going to try to get the Fortnite, the Tales of Tomato Tom video. That's a funny one. Even if you don't like the video game ones, I took clips from movies and stuff and tried to make this one funny. My daughter was giving me ideas on inserting some things, little quotes and stuff from other YouTubers. So, yeah, we got a kick out of editing some of that. But it's funny. It is definitely funny. Why didn't we get a moment with Morgan and Nick where he says, wait, I know a Rick, not a Nick. Wait, I know a Rick, not a Nick. Well, we don't need a moment like that. It's Travis all over again, laugh out loud. Also, the water park from the trailer in next week's episode. Yeah, I'm curious about that. Spin 2020 with a $5 super chat support. Hold on, let me make sure that is the most recent one because we're probably going to shut it down after that. Okay, yeah. Spin with the $5 super chat. Updates on Doomsday Kingdom, ? And Lauren Cohan resigns. Thoughts? Yeah, I was going to talk briefly about that in tomorrow's video. I think I'm uploading it tomorrow. She just resigned. We'll go into more thoughts, but just contract negotiations. And she is definitely coming back for Season 9, for anyone wondering. And again, it seems like it's just a money issue, so there's not really a lot to go on. It's not like she has a problem with the story. Maybe she wants a little more story. As far as updates on Doomsday Kingdom, a real big update. I just got the stock from the printers. Just got it on late Friday. So, you know, Saturday, Sunday, getting everything prepped. I got to do the quality control, just checking out all the issues. We got hundreds of copies that we got to check out, make sure there's no damages or nothing like that. And then we're going to start shipping them out starting this week. So if I get all my work done on Monday, I'm hoping to start right away getting some orders. I don't know how many orders I'm going to be shipping a day, but I'm hoping to stick between 10 at the least and 50 at the most. I think I was banging out 50 orders a day, shipping out with issue 1. Once you get on a roll, you can really go at it. And that's why I do the priority flat rates, because I could just print out the postage, you know. I don't have to get different stuff set up for different orders. And it's the one envelope, pop, you know, and get it out. So yeah, that's really exciting. And we got more Doomsday Kingdom since the stock's coming in. And we have to do everything in stages because it's just us, you know, or it's just me in the United States and it's the artist in the UK. Once we get those shipping, then we can move on to the next stage, which is issue 3's release and all that. So it's just different stages. But thank you very much for the super chat support, and expect the video about the comics coming too, because I want to film those. Harrison, hey Ronnie, do you think they could still have the main characters have their own signature weapons? Yeah, it looks like they gave Alicia something right now, and they could have more coming up as well. If Madison appears only to learn of Nick's death, do you think we will see the return of Stone-Faced Madison, or and if so, will you prefer her to die? Well, I don't think she's going to be cracking jokes, but it doesn't mean she has to be stone-faced. Like Alicia had a funny moment, and it wasn't she had attitude. She's like, I don't know how she made it this far. she can do stuff like that. Madison can. Madison can even smile and have a moment with friends and family. That's they don't have to shut down because there's a tragedy. And that's not even real life. A lot of times when you have something that's really traumatic, you need that break. You need to have a giggle, you know? So no, I don't want to stone face Madison again. I don't think it fits reality, let alone the character. Frieder, Nick tells Alicia to bring back Lucy after he killed her boyfriend last season. Laugh out loud. Thoughts? What? Nick tells Alicia to bring back Lucy after he killed her boyfriend last season. Hey, I don't have any thoughts to. I don't know what. I don't know. I'll be honest. I have no fucking clue what that question means. Nick tells her to bring her back because she left in season 3, was it, right? She left to find her family, right? And apparently they got connected again. I'm hoping we're going to see that, right? We didn't see that yet. As far as killed her boyfriend last year, yeah, I don't see the connection there. I could be missing that, though. Charlie would have been likable character had she not killed a fan favorite. Yeah, but now she's dog meat. Yeah, good night, guys. Let me find the last question to get. Wait, if Nick is really dead, who will inherit his blood-covered technique? Probably the whole group, and yes, he's definitely dead. You don't get shot in that spot and live. There's especially blood coming out the mouth, and I know Hollywood cheats it, but usually that means blood got in your lungs, so he's done for. Like, you ever see in Hollywood, they always do this shit. Somebody gets injured somewhere that's not the lungs and blood's coming out of their mouth. Hey, listen, as far as I know, that's why blood comes out of your mouth, because you got puncture and you got blood in your lung. You guys, if there's any doctors in the room, you correct me if I'm wrong, but I'm pretty sure that's right. Something like that. So when you see someone get in the movies, they get stabbed in the stomach or something, clearly in the stomach, and their blood's like coming out. It's like, come the fuck on. What do you think about an Otis spinoff? That's absolutely ridiculous and asinine. All right, last one. What are your thoughts of a little kid being a pretty badass villain right off the bat? No way in hell. That's not up my alley at all. This is the first time it's really happened. Lizzie and Ron were different than this type of villain. Wait. You mean a badass villain right off the bat? Like what we got? What we got is great if that's the setup for them. But I don't want like a little kid being like a little Negan walking in telling adults what to do. No, fuck out of here. That's some 1990s bullshit. You know what I mean? Save that for that dumb. No one's going to follow a little kid. Get out of here. So in that respect, no, not at all. Dude, guys, thank you very much for the $5 super chat. Spin saying kisses and hugs to me. You're a lucky fella. Thank you very much for the super chat all night, guys. The Mapp family's really holding it down. We got a lot coming up. I just want to mention, for those interested, I keep saying this, we're finally starting to pick up where we're going full time. We're working towards the videos coming consistent, and I'll drop the first little update. Yes, we are starting that this week, and I said it before, we had a lot of snags in here and there, but it's not like guaranteed every day starting right now, but starting Monday, moving forward, our goal is going full-time within a month or two to be set on a daily schedule with daily uploads, like I said, within a month or two, and a schedule, so that way I can roll out the whole week's schedule with what we're going to be getting. So, and again, I'll put up a little update video discussing a few things, because there's going to be, especially with Walking Dead just starting filming, and we don't have a lot coming in, and I will not cover spoilers. So The Walking Dead's gonna be kind of just stuck with Q&As until we get some information from the set, not spoiler stuff, from real information. So we will be getting a flood of the gaming videos to fill up the gap, and some other stuff as well that's not Walking Dead related, but it is like we have zombie related, we have movie related stuff. So keep in mind, we're going to have that month or two coming up. We will get on a schedule, and then you guys will know what to look forward to as it's coming out. But we're starting that this week, as far as you guys won't notice a difference. Like I said, it'll take a couple weeks, and then we should be on that every day there's the video coming out. And then, like I said, within a month from now, I believe, maybe less, we're going to have the schedule, which will come in phases. So John Smith. Yes, I like the episode. Yep, you came in late. All right, guys. Like I said, thank you very much for everyone supporting still on Patreon. Everyone supporting with the super chats. The mods coming in, holding it down, sending hugs and kisses out there. Thanks everybody a lot, and I'll see you guys here again next Sunday for our Walking Dead weekly discussion after show. So, damn. There was one thing I wanted to ask. Bring back your Morgan Hunt in the videos. Oh, there's going to be a lot of Morgan Hunts. I can't do it in live streams. I'm going to figure out how to do that, and then we can. But there was one thing I wanted to ask, and what was it? It had something to do with the TV show and asking about your thoughts and opinions coming up. Well, how do you guys feel about the newcomers taking over kind of the cast? Like, we have Nick's departure now. What do you guys feel about the newcomers integrating and then becoming like a Michonne? Michonne came at the end of season 2, but really it's season 3. And she, to me, when I look at her, I see like an important character as if that's a season 1 character. How do you guys feel about these newcomers? Looking at John Dory or Al or Naomi, right? Looking at them and seeing an important character like it's a season 1 character. You guys let me know what you think about that. I think there's a lot of serious potential there, and I'm really curious to see if they're going to go in that direction instead of using them for just simple little storytelling tools, you know? So, all right, guys, good night. Thanks for coming out, and I'll see you next week. 10:30 Eastern Standard Time every Sunday.